Hi, in this video you're going to learn how to set up your merchant account inside Credit Money Machine Pro Plus or Credit Money Machine Ultimate. The first thing is go to the Merchant Manager. There are several ways to do that, but to be consistent, here at the top right we have the full menu icon. Okay, and so we can click there and then go to here, Finance, and then Merchant Manager. There are two main gateways. One is authorized.net and NMI. So authorized.net, you may want to change the name of the one. You could have even up to 3 accounts, merchant accounts with them. So basically you could change the name to identify that this is going to be yours. So for example, my own authorized.net or something like that, so where you can identify it with this. And then here you need to put your login username information and the transaction key, which you can get from their API system. So here you see in these notes, if you go to the support panel in your control for authorized.net, you can produce a transaction key, paste it here, and pretty much that's all. For NMI, you can use Dow Commerce. If you have your account with Dow Commerce, fine, use this one. Otherwise, use this one for NMI. Okay, so same thing. You can change the name to make it your own. And if it's this one, the one that you're gonna use, be sure to mark here as default, which means that when you create a new receivable, for example, it's going to suggest this one as opposed to authorized.net or any other. Okay, so you mark this one, and also you need to link it to your bank, and this is only for so it can the charges that you do with the credit card will be in the register of the bank. In order to do that, we will need to come back here in the finance. We'll go to check and bank manager. So we go here and then bank and credit card accounts. So we go here and we add a bank, we add an account, which is essentially your bank. Okay, so I'm gonna put this fake account, so you enter all your data. Now this bank will be available in the list of merchant accounts. So we're gonna go back to finance, merchant manager, and I'm gonna link it to the bank. You have different banks, so you're gonna link it to one of them, because the money from the gateway and your merchant account is gonna go to the bank that you put into your merchant account. So this for the NMI, you need to put the username and the password. Okay, these two, as opposed to for authorized.net, you put the username, but you don't move this, you don't change this. Okay, you leave it. These words are important, and these words are important too. So these ones are the ones that you're gonna change. So that's that related to adding a merchant account to the system. Now, when you go to the receivables, so we're gonna go here, finance again, and then accounts receivable. We have an icon here in the advanced view directly to go to the accounts receivable, and from the expert view there is also an icon at the left. But this one I'm trying to do something that is generic. So actually we can do it from the menu if we want. finance account receivables, okay, and also we have here check and bank manager, just to be consistent throughout the different views: simpler, advanced, and expert. Okay, so I'm gonna click account receivable for this client, right? um, so let's say that I can create, and this is not the video that I'm going to explain payment plans. There is another video for that, but essentially you can have a payment plan, you can have unlimited payment plans, and trigger that payment plan and create it with one click. But in this particular case, I'm going to do it manually and just a receivable. So you see that because I put Network Merchants 1, didn't change the name, but is the default, so it's suggested by default. That's what you want, right? If you were creating, I want to go on a tangent for a second, but if you created a payment plan, okay, you can select that here. So the default is when you do it manually. For payment plans, you can decide depending on the product. So some companies have different merchant accounts, and they use it with different products, etc. So all that is possible. Even more is possible to have one product with one account, and then they set a fee and then different payments with a different merchant account. Okay, but it's not what we want to do now. Right now we have this, so we put an amount, whatever it is. We put the description. We can have snippets for that description, so to be consistent, if you do the same description over and over, you're gonna have it in the snippets here. You're gonna add it here, the description, and that way, for example, say that fee, let's say that is one description, and it's going to be here in the list. All right. Same thing with the check memo, but in this case you're not doing checks, so you're doing a set of fee. You're doing a merchant account. So basically, then you type your private notes if you want, etc., etc., and verify that this one is charged, or is going to be charged with the one that you want, with a merchant account that you want, and the date, etc. If you were doing something which is recurrent, it will be possible to do here recurrent and the number of times, including kind of forever. And but in a program plan, in a payment plan, it's possible to put a different amount for the initial setup fee, like here, right? So it's possible to put, let's say, $200 and then payments of 100 per month, and that enter that with one click. That's pretty easy. And also enter the description for the memo, and also the private description, which is the one that it goes here. So all of that perfectly possible, and even to consider commissions and stuff like that, if this is going to be used, if you have affiliates and pay, how many levels are going to be pay up, how many payments has this particular product in commissions, right? So the commission, let's say that is maybe $100, but it's going to be $20 and 5 payments, right? So it means that it's going to produce 5 payments of 20, so 5 months. So that's that, and that is related to the payment plan. And well, I can do something here. For example, now that I'm here, let me do it. So I'm gonna do a set of fee. I can put the same here, and maybe here I'm gonna put CR service. So it's gonna be a little bit different, which I can do, and I can put something, how many days to start, usually is 0, and the name here, so I'm going to put here test, and then we can forget this one for a second now. So so we don't get confused, so I'm gonna avoid it. And so payment plans, I select the payment plan, test, and insert the payment plan. One, boom, and we can see this one 200 today, and here unlimited, almost 30 years, starting next month. And you can see that this is green, which means that this is correct in the sense that this payment will trigger another one and another. If this one was like this one, meaning empty or white, then that means that this one won't trigger anything. All right, and this one will trigger, but it won't, because it's, as a matter of fact, voided will trigger. If I wanna change this from voided and don't make it that will trigger, we'll put it on hold. So if you see green, that means that it's going to be able to trigger eventually, and I can trigger manually too. By clicking the plus sign, but it will trigger automatically, but I can do it also manually here. And you can see that this one now is empty, and this one is for August is green. That means that this one will trigger. Okay, so that's that. Then you can charge. You can click, for example, what is due for today by clicking this button here, dues, sorted by time or name, well, maybe by date in this case, and then I can charge here. Obviously, I don't have a credit card for this client, and I'm gonna explain where you can add the credit card. So this doesn't have a credit card, so if I clicked here, well, obviously it's not gonna charge anything because I don't have the correct information, neither in the merchant account, neither in the client, which is not a client, but it's a test record. But anyway, here, depending on the again, depending on the level, the credit card is going to be in a different place, but always in the menu you can have it credit card manager. You can have it here, manage credit cards, and we can have up to 5 different credit cards. So sometimes the client wants to change the credit card, you can invalidate the old one but add the new one, or maybe the client has several credit cards on file and it will trigger all of them if for example, if you have 3 and the first 2 fail, decline, the third one will be tried, and if it's bad, it's going to be declined. If it's good, it's going to be approved. But you can have, so you enter here the credit card number, and then expiration date, and then the security code. As you can see, is valid, and then the address of the statement, which could be, the suggestion is the address that you have with the client, but it could be different. So you click save, and that's pretty much that. Now it will be possible from the receivables to charge, or to trigger the charge, not only of one but of unlimited people. And also it can be done automatically, which I don't recommend, especially at the beginning, until you know exactly. So you can put here to charge at a particular time of the day or night, and then it will be charged, but requires that you kind of leave the program running and stuff. But it's possible. Again, you want to, in my opinion, you want to know if something was declined. And also here you have the workflow that will be triggered. You need to set up, if you're gonna do a payment plan, right? You can put here, you can put how many times do you want to let the credit card decline. 3 times, 2 times, or 1 time. And then you can put here, we don't have any workflow, but but you can create, and the defaults are declined and approved, declined and approved. So in other words, if it's if it declines 3 times, it's gonna trigger this workflow, right? And if approves, it's gonna trigger this workflow. So you need to learn how to use this powerful feature. Obviously, if you intend to use it, which is worth it, but not necessary, not absolutely necessary. So I believe that's that. I hope that you enjoy charging your clients with this simple system, very powerful as well. Thank you.